All right, let's jump right into this. If you're running or even just working at an MSP, a managed service provider, there is a very specific, undeniable kind of dread that rolls around at the end of every single month. You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? It's the billing nightmare. You're sitting there staring down an absolute mountain of vendor invoices, logging into what feels like a dozen different portals, and just desperately trying to reconcile all of that data against what you're actually charging your clients in your PSA. It's incredibly stressful, it's exhausting, and let's be real, it relies way too heavily on manual cross-referencing. Well, welcome to today's Explainer. We're going to break down how a platform called CloudOlive is completely transforming this messy, frustrating process, stopping revenue leakage dead in its tracks and turning month-end billing chaos into absolute clarity.
So, I want you to hold this single, glaring number in your mind for a second. 5%. Now, 5% might not sound like a totally massive chunk at first glance, but in the fast-paced, really tight-margin world of IT reselling, this number is a silent killer for your business. That 5%, that actually represents the average monthly recurring revenue, or MRR, that MSPs misbill every single month. And the craziest part is, this happens entirely due to manual errors. Just think about it for a second. You're making what, maybe 15 or 16 points of margin on a standard Microsoft license? If you miss billing a client for just 1 month or, and we've all done this, you forget to unbill a client when they drop a license, that single tiny mistake can literally wipe out 6 months of margin on that service. Just like that, you are completely behind. And this 5% leakage just sneaks by totally undetected, month after month, directly eating into your hard-earned profits. Why? Because relying on human data entry or those perpetually broken third-party syncs simply isn't foolproof. See, the old way is the unfortunate reality for way too many MSPs right now. It is a sleep-depriving scramble of chaotic spreadsheets, clicking away on desktop calculators, and manually logging into a multitude of vendor portals just to check unit numbers. It's a fragile system where vital billing knowledge is usually trapped in just one person's head, and usually it's the business owner's head. Now contrast that with the CloudOlive way. They offer a single source of truth. It instantly consolidates all of your vendor usage into one beautiful central view, and it automatically maps your actual cost directly to your client contracts.
You don't just have to take my word for it. Take Paul, for example, the managing director over at Superior IT. His MSP had been really struggling with scattered spreadsheets absolutely everywhere. Everything was in his head, and their service catalog was, admittedly, a bit of a mess. But when they finally standardized their approach and brought in CloudOlive to map everything properly, they actually uncovered $20,000 to $30,000 a year in revenue that was just slipping through the cracks. Literally just vanishing because services weren't mapped correctly to their contracts. Finding that kind of hidden, recurring revenue, that completely changes the trajectory of a business.
So how exactly does this magic happen? Well, think of CloudOlive as the definitive plumbing for your billing operations. It's a multi-vendor reconciliation platform that sits right perfectly between all of your IT vendors and your PSA, whether you're using Datto, Autotask, or ConnectWise. So instead of you manually pulling data from Microsoft, Pax8, Datto, and SentinelOne, CloudOlive pulls it for you, centralizing all of those vendor and service charges in one single place. You can finally ditch the spreadsheets entirely and transform the way you resell IT, safely knowing that every single charge is captured and managed centrally.
But wait, I know what you're thinking. My vendors all bill me in totally different ways, in weird formats, and on completely different days of the month, right? Well, that's actually not an issue here. CloudOlive is 100% independent and agnostic, boasting an incredible 200-plus vendor and distributor integrations. Whether it's a cloud service, a distributor, an RMM tool, VoIP, backup, or some niche cybersecurity product, CloudOlive can ingest any vendor file.
And beyond just recovering that lost revenue, there's another massive operational shift you need to know about: 8x. By automating all those tedious monthly checks, balances, and data imports, your finance and admin teams can actually process your month-end billing up to 8 times faster. Think about taking a grueling process that used to drain 3 or 4 full days of your team's time every single month and shrinking that whole shebang down to just a few hours. That is a game-changing shift in efficiency.
CloudOlive isn't just another billing tool. It's a real way for MSP owners and finance teams to literally buy back their time, reduce their end-of-month anxiety, and completely trust their numbers again. The real results for MSPs globally using this are absolutely crystal clear. You get increased margins because you're capturing every single consumption variance and ensuring you actually on-bill every cent to your clients. You have drastically less manual reconciliation, which saves incredibly precious time. You can handle all that bespoke billing logic, like remembering specific bundles and special exception rules for certain clients, without breaking a sweat. And most importantly, you achieve 100% PSA billing accuracy. No more embarrassing invoicing errors or awkward client disputes over billing. It just gives you total control and the strategic insights you need to grow your business confidently.
So I'll leave you with a final, slightly provocative thought. If the average MSP is leaking 5% of their monthly recurring revenue entirely through manual errors and messy data, are you absolutely sure you aren't one of them? Are you finally ready to stop trusting chaotic spreadsheets and find out exactly how much revenue you are missing out on every single month?
If you are ready to reclaim your time, perfect your monthly reselling process, and finally recover that leaked revenue, the next step is incredibly simple. To learn more, book a demo right now at www.cloudolive.com. That's www.cloudolive.com. Don't let another month-end billing cycle turn into a total nightmare. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and we will see you next time.